Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is an UDES 1405. It's a tier 8 Swedish medium tank. It's located on the northwest spawn of Mines and it's under the command of Fluffylilkitten. Game started. Oh, that's a very unusual voice in the command. Not Fluffy's normal. And he hasn't loaded the premium ammunition straight from the start. Yeah, we always joke about the fact that Fluffy has his finger glued to the number 2 switch. Okay, first enemy, CS63. Good shot! Excellent shot there, 315. I sense a Swedish tinge to that voice. I think it might be that there's a couple of Swedish streamers that we know who are actually giving the voice to this command. Okay, the UDES 1405. It's a medium tank developed by Bofors for the Swedish Army. It's got an autoloader and pneumatic suspension. Fires his first round at the Super Conqueror. Doesn't pen. You can see it hit the upper plate, but it just wouldn't go through. All he's got is the track at the moment. There's the lower plate. Well, he did get that one through because it was at the right angle. The other one was well angled enough and he didn't get the pen, but he did get it that time. 11.26 seconds is the normal reload. He's got 9.66. He tracked the guy, held him in place, but it looks like he burned his repair kit so he could pull forward. And that one didn't pen. I think that just hit the upper plate. Now this gun is a 105mm with 360 alpha. Fairly decent pen as well if you look at it, from 217mm with standard APCR. And it'll actually go through 253 with the premium rounds. And well, Fluffy's actually not used any of the premium rounds yet. He's still using the standard ammo and he's getting decent pen. But you can see something else there. It's actually showing you that the shell velocity is very, very quick. 1,385 meters per second, which is one of the reasons why he found penetrating that CS63 so easy. Because it's basically point and shoot. Because the moment the enemy goes through the field of fire, that's when the shell hits them. Or rather, if you fire at the moment they go through the field of fire. There's no time delay at all. Ah, now this is a problem because we've just lost the ball sync because he was open in the bushes there and it looks like the enemy on the island saw him. So Fluffy's decided to relocate because if he doesn't, he could actually get taken out as well. And he's got 2 targets to fire at now, an M103 and a Scrib 1030. He's going to have to play peekaboo, pop out, make the shot and then pull back in. Well, the M103's gone for cover, but the Scrib has not. Now, he's getting a blue mark there, which means he might not pen. That shell went right over the top of the target. He should easily pen the M103 there because he's got green, which shows he's... Yep. Unfortunately, when he pulled back, you can see it went blue because he was looking at the tracks, and the tracks are not part of the hitbox. Or at least it wouldn't go through. It would track it, but it wouldn't penetrate the hitbox. The guy hasn't pulled around. It's almost as if he's begging us to shoot him. Ah, no, he leaves his bustle out like that. Yep, the bustle is part of the hitbox, so it can be penned. And if I remember correctly, there is ammunition in the bustle as well. I know the bustle is actually directly over the engine bay, which meant they had to have a heat shield. Oh, good shot! Excellent, that one. 385 from that shot. Now this is a pair of replays featuring the UDES 1405. First one with Fluffy, and then we've got a second one with another player. Carnarvon's behind that building at the moment. If he does fire, he'll knock the building down, but he might not pen the target. We've got a list coming up. Aim for the gap, Fluffy. There he is. There he is. Yes! You see, he went through the gap, and Fluffy aimed at the gap, and bang! Got the shell on target. He attracted the guy, and I think he should have had some damage assist from that shot, because he did hit the guy after he was tracked. And tracked him, and that he took damage afterwards. Didn't get the strib S1. That means there's 2 stribs in that area for the enemy team. Strib 1030 was over there. We're 1 tank down on the enemy, but we are keeping pace with them. Just about. There you go. Now reading. Now this, as I said, this tank actually has hydraulic suspension. Oops, I saw the CS63 over there for a brief moment. I think he's seen us as well. But let's see if we can get around into him. Yes! Good shot! 355. Another low roll, but... he's had a few high rolls as well as low rolls. No, the CS63's pulled back behind the corner now. He's wise to what's going on. And the enemy strip, well, he's actually in the water short of this island. And now we've got a standard B poking out. He's wondering whether or not to take that one on or move forward. The strip's pulled back, so unfortunately he missed the opportunity there. The T-54 moved up to see if he could get a shot. But now we've got the Striv coming up this bank here, so he's going to sit behind those bushes. There you are, put a round into him. Hello, Mr. Striv. Good! So, second kill. Okay, 7032's moved over to the other side. We could sit behind that wreck there and use him for cover. And in fact, actually, I think that's what Fluffy has in mind. There's a standard B up on the ledge. Oh dear, now just notice there's a standard B right at the back of the South Island. We lost the 7032 because Fluffy wasn't giving him support when he needed it. The CS63 came around the corner and, well, I think Fluffy was distracted at that point. Saw a shiny object, wanted to play with it. Yeah, that CS63 cost him. There he is. We lost the CS2. Oh, and he got it through the hatch and pulls back. Don't go too far because the CS63 might have a shot on you. Well, he managed to get round and back without the CS63 popping one back in his direction. Maybe that tank was blocking his sight. But he's got good reason to come back because there's an E50M on the other side of the map. As well, the other side of the map is vacant as well. He's headed into the castle grounds, into the top of the hill. Wondering about this. Oh, Carnarvon, he's behind the wreck. He can get the top of the tank, but he can't. Can he get a pen? Yes! And a high roll. A very nice high roll. Just behind the Tiger 2 wreck there. The E50M on the other side is actually... Oh, he's a one-shot, but he's now dead. The T-54 relocated and took him out. So Fluffy's decided he's going to go into the castle grounds and shoot down on the enemy. Oh, but he took a round from the standard B. Needs to get behind this wreck to cover. Oh, lucky they didn't get holed by 2 more rounds. Now, Be very careful about approaching these bushes. There's huge gaps between some of them and you do get spotted fairly easily. We know there's a standard B around because he's actually at the base of the next to the island, and that's where we're approaching. But remember, there's a Scorpion over there. Oh, standard B just went up big time, but an E50M hit him. The E50M's on the other island. He's poking forwards, but that T110E3 over there is looking in this direction, not looking specifically at us at the moment. Oh, well, he tracked him but didn't kill him. But the problem is the Scorpion on the South Island. Fluffy, pull back because of the Scorpion. That Scorpion's looking this way. He might see. It's possible he might see the shot. Certainly, if the T110E3 saw the shot, then he radioed that to the Scorpion. Leopard's gone over in that direction. He's looking to get the Scorpion. There's only 2 enemies left. There's the Scorpion. And a nice shot from Fluffy for 376, which is a high roll. Still can't get a shot on the T110E3 because he's behind the rock, but the Tortoise is going up there to dislodge him. So all he needs to do now is wait for the Tortoise to push the E3 out. Oh, he didn't! The E3 got the Tortoise instead. But now he is taking fire and ooh, it went into the tracks. Got the rear of him, but it will bounce off. Now we can get him. Yes! And that wins the game for Fluffylilkitten in the UDES 14.5. In the second replay, it's on the north spawn of Murovanka, and we have EinfachVerschnurrt. Game started. I thought I'd show you from above. He's actually got a rather stylishly painted UDES 14.5. He's actually in platoon with the tank behind him, which is don't change the game. Oh, it's RNG, don't change the game. In the TRUET S1, I was wondering what that actually meant, and I finally read it. Okay, if you're wondering what EinfachVerschnurrt means, it means simply bird. That's it, simply bird. So I think it's sort of a reference to a cat. I think we'll call him Einfach for the game. It just simplifies better. It's better than calling him Dave anyway. Nice shot! Got the Carnarvon's engine bay, and his teammate got one as well, his platoon mate. Now, as before, reload time is 11.26 seconds for a 105mm gun. Got a shot into the EBR, nice! And his platoon mate took the kill. So we've got rid of the enemy wheelie. It's 360 Alpha, 217mm of pen on standard rounds, and 253 on the premium. Reload time, as I said, 11.26. He's got 9.5, so obviously he's got a good crew, and probably got vents. Well, they're waiting at the edge of the Magic Forest at the moment. The enemy didn't commit or haven't committed on this side, so he's taking the opportunity to move up, and there's a Barask here as well. Can he get shots? He's just gone over the other bank. He's the other side of the bank. There he is. Oh, missed the chance there. He poked out just for a moment. He so wants that Barask. That's better. Nice shot. Average roll. It makes a difference not hearing the Awesome Epic guys in this tank. It was the Awesome Epic guys in the previous replay, by the way. At least I think it was. I'm not sure. They'll confirm it for me. You can see it's a very low tank. It didn't get taken into production, but it's a very low tank with pneumatic suspension. and an autoloader. Only 3 crew, gunner, driver, commander. In fact, actually, I didn't realise there was 3 members of this platoon. The other one is in the Renegade, and that's Darkus 1990? Well, we'll see at the end of the game. Now, I think the reason he's pulled back is he saw the minimap and he's realised the enemy is pushing through on the other side of the battlefield, and he's pulled back to see if he can get some nice long range shots on these guys. Yes! Good kills! Well, looks like he took a shot from one of his teammates just before he got that shot in, and he gets the second one on the Object 274A. So 2 kills in quick succession. Oh, you can't go any further, that's the edge of the map. Turning round. Yes, there's some rather nice Japanese paintings there. Okay, who's next? He's trying to get a shot on the Renegade. It's just the other side of the bank. He's having a look at that Barask as well. He's out in the open, that Barask. He's not in the Magic Forest. He's decided to come out where Einfach was. There's the other. Oh, there's the other one. So there's 2 Barasks on the enemy team. Unfortunately, we did lose the Renegade in our platoon. The RNG in the Striv S1 is still in action. Okay. Well, the enemy push on this side of the map has ended. I'd normally knock down that house because it does provide cover to enemy tanks when they're capping, but he seems to have this in hand for the moment. You know, there's an UDES 03 over there. He's probably in those bushes. Would not be surprised if he's... Oh, there he is. And there's the Scorpion. Nice. Well, if he pushes forward again, we might be able to get a shot, or if he pulls back behind the house. The Scorpion G on our side's moving up. There goes the Scorpion. Nice shot. High roll, 400. Now, this is going to be where it gets a bit spicy, because he's got a T103 down back there. And, oh, now this is unusual. We've got the GSOR. Gets 1 shot into the GSOR. Remember, that's an autoloader with 4 shots. He's fired 1. So he definitely has 3 left, unless of course he's emptied 1 on somebody else. We didn't see what happened over there, but I think the UDES 03 got killed and the Scorpion is still alive. Our Scorpion's still alive as well. Okay, so you're going to go around after that GSOR, because that's a good target to kill. I know a lot of people on the NA server are actually playing the GSOR for the first time, because it was the rental that they put out as the code over the weekend, and they're getting to find out how incredibly powerful it can be if you can clip out an enemy tank. They're also learning how long the reload is. There's the Scorpion. Okay, pulls back and go for the gun shield. Oh, he went behind the house just at that moment. He's edging forward. No, he's pulled back behind the banks. Yeah, I think that was more out of frustration than anything else, because he'd lost the opportunity to get the shots. There's the GSOR, so he's pulled back to the mid-level, and we've got a T103 behind him. You want to watch out you don't get hit by that T103. In the meantime, we're looking at the Barask running through the... Oh, kill shot! And he got double tapped again, and this time round it was RNG who hit him first from the edge of the map, and then Einfach got the shot that killed him. So that's 3 kills now. He's having a good game. T103's taking some punishment. Yeah, it's a wise decision for RNG to go to the back of the map in the strip. If he stayed on the edge of the forest, the way that the Barasks were moving about, he probably would have been cornered. But as it is, now they're down to 1 Barask. And I think Einfach's decided that he's going to Ignore the west flank of the map at the moment. Go where the Strid is. And that way, if the enemy does try to push on that side, then he can get shots on them. But in the meantime, the enemy Barask is moving up. And okay, so we need to get into a position so we can take that guy out. RNG's pulling back. RNG, don't change the game. Yes! Oh, excellent! And another double tap. RNG gets the kill shot this time. Or did he actually? It looks like it was. No, I'm wrong. It was EinfachVerschnurrt who got the kill. And now it's RNG got that one. So as a platoon, they're doing quite well. The 6 kills. Over 1/3 of the enemy team. 2/5 of the enemy team. The last enemy in the Magic Forest has come forward. It's the 53 TP. He's just behind that bank. So he's going to go round to put the bush between him and the 53 TP. Crawls up. Yes, you can see him. But the Scorpion on the enemy team's moved up. And he's just the other side of that building from the IS-6. So which one does he go for? 53 TP or does he go for the Scorpion? GSOR! That's a must. Gets the kill. High roll. 377. All he needed. But he pulled back because the T103 has moved up as well. And he's just behind the water tower. The Scorpion puts a round into us for 528. And we're on fire. And oh, we've been ammo-racked as well. Okay, he's put the ammo-rack back in. He was using premium consumables, and that's why his performance was so much better. But the fires cost us 426 hit points. So combined, over 900 and hit points of damage. But the Scorpion's gone. Now we've got the T103 to kill. He's behind that water tower. We lost the IS-6. IS-6 was taken out by the 53 TP, who's, as we know, near where RNG is. He's sitting behind the house, I think, that 53 TP. I have the feeling the enemy knows where we are. They probably can't see us at the moment, and that's why the T103 is so reluctant to move forward. He's a big tank. He doesn't want to come forward. Or big TD, I should say. View range on this tank is 390 meters. And with a good crew, obviously it's slightly more. And I suspect EinfachVerschnurrt does have a good crew. The 53 TP comes into the sights. He pokes out behind the house, and the horse, and he gets hit again by RNG. We're poking forward, taking a risk. Yes! 369, another high roll. They're holding their own. It's 2 against 3. But one of the enemy is not getting involved at the moment. That's the Strid S1 on their team. There he is. Oh, he got a fire! But that was a premium fire extinguisher went off. But he now knows where we are. Can't see us, but there we go. Get another shot. Nice, 350. Low roll this time, but that Strid is now one shot for sure. Just wait for the reload to go in. He's sitting behind that house. Remember what I said? Knock the house down. Always knock the house down. And he got the kill. So that's now 7 kills for EinfachVerschnurrt. I missed it when he went to the Top Gun. So there's 2 on 2 now. And EinfachVerschnurrt potentially has the high caliber. The T103 pokes his big ugly head up, and he doesn't pen him. Yeah, that rounded top of the turret, very bouncy. He's trying to get closer without the T103 seeing him. It's one of the reasons why I always knock that house down at the start of battle, because it can be used as cover. And there's the T103. Now, was he seen? No, he's not seen. Yes! And that is a Radley Walters, but he was seen. Now, will the 53 TP try to put a round into him? No. So he couldn't see him. Okay, that was a blind shot. Just more of a warning. Keep off the grass. Okay, so they've got a real chance of doing this now. It's 2 on 1. We know the 53 TP has been hit. We know that because Einfach hit him 369, so he's already hit him badly. And now I think both of them are going to go in together at the same time and double tap him. RNG taking the lead. He's got the hit points. He's staying behind. Einfach staying behind him because he can take the shots. Now he can get him. Separate and get him from both sides. Doesn't matter who gets him, so long as we get him. Not on. Yes! Wins the game! Epic battle there. And here's the end of battle results for both games, and you can see that Fluffylilkitten managed to get an ace tanker in his UDES 14 Alt 5 on the Mines map. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 7, and in that battle he picked up an Oskins medal because he destroyed at least 3 enemy tanks or tank destroyers with a medium tank in that battle, and they had to be at least 1 tier higher than his own tier. His win rate from the game was 6,868, which is Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at the team score and see where he did. Well, didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Leopard, who picked up a high caliber and a Confederate for 5,662 hit points of damage, but he didn't survive the game. The second highest damage was the Standard B on the enemy team, 4,320 hit points of damage, but he didn't survive the game. But Fluffylilkitten did, and he got 3,789 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, it was the Super Conqueror on his own team who managed to get 4 kills, and he picked up a steel wall in that battle. He survived the game, and so did Fluffy, of course, with 3 kills alongside the Standard B and the Scorpion G on the enemy team. And third on kills was the Leopard 1, the T-54 and the Striv S1030 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP though, because Fluffy was tier 8 and the others were higher tiers, he actually earned more XP than the others, so his XP was 1,243, which made him top. 1,043 went to the Leopard 1 and 1,011 went to the Super Conqueror, and those are the only 3 tanks who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. Fluffy fired 23 rounds in that game, 19 direct hits, 11 penetrations, damage of 3,789 hit points, of which 1,860 were at more than 300 meters. He's received 2 hits from the enemy. Both of them were penetrations, I'm afraid. Yeah, the Alt 5 does actually have very poor armor overall. It's basically only the toughest armor is at the front of the turret, which is only 66 millimeters thick. The rest of the tank all round is no greater than 35 millimeters, so it's very easy to pen. Even a tier 1 tank could pen it if you think about it. But the fact is, what it relies on is its hit pool, its gun, and its mobility to stay out of the way of the enemy tanks. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 3, and on a premium count he earned 45,378 credits, got 40,000 for completing a mission, 85,378 credits altogether. And just look at this, he didn't use premium ammo, and that's surprising for Fluffy because he normally, as I said, welds his finger to the number 2 key, and he ended up with 67,912 credits profit from that game. 1,864 XP times 2 for the first victory, 3,000 for completing a mission, and 6,729 experience points altogether. That was a really good game for Fluffy. Even though he didn't score a huge number of kills, he still had a very good game, and he was very mobile. He moved about the battlefield. Yes, he did act like a tank destroyer to start with in the game, but you can expect that because this tank doesn't really have much armor. And of course, if you try to play fast and loose at the front of the battlefield, you're likely to take a lot of damage right at the start. So it does help with a thin armored medium tank to stay at the back and not take so much damage, see the way the battle's going, and then apply your gun to the right flank to ensure that you can get the most damage without being killed in the process. So the first battle was really good, and that was an ace tanker. Let's have a look at the second battle. That was also an ace tanker, but EinfachVerschnurrt did an absolutely epic game in this one. He got an ace tanker, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 11. He got an arsonist because he set light to one of the enemy tanks and watched them burn to death. Got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, and this is where it gets really good. He got a Radley Walters medal, and in fact, he actually ended up with 9 kills, not 8 that he needed for the Radleys. He was one short of getting a Pools medal, but there just weren't enough enemies left for him to kill to get a Pools. But a Radleys is still incredibly good and very well done. He also picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. And just look at all that. Yeah, you can see it's a lot of tanks. Let's have a look at team score. There you go, top of the table with 5,444 hit points of damage. The next high scorer was his platoon mate, RNG Don't Change the Game, with 3,730 hit points of damage. And the third highest damage in the game was the Shriv S1 on the enemy team with 3,120. I think he spent most of the game sitting at the back sniping, and then it was only when he had to move forward towards the end, and unfortunately for him, that meant he met EinfachVerschnurrt's reticule, and he was able to be taken out of the game. And we should mention as well to his platoon mate, Darkus 1989 GER, I think German. He was in the Renegade. He did 761 hit points of damage as well, but unfortunately he got taken out in the Magic Forest. When it came to kills, yeah, there's only one person in it really, if you think about it. EinfachVerschnurrt managed to get 9 kills from that game. 4 kills went to the Barask, or one of them, and 3 kills went to the 53 Martovsky Go. And his platoon mate managed to get 2 kills. Unfortunately, the Renegade Darkus, he didn't get any kills in that one. But when it came to base XP, yep, it's only one person again. 1,617 to Einfach. 1,113 went to the LT432 and 948 went to RNG Don't Change and the Shriv S1. Those are the only 2 left at the end of the game, and I love that pincer movement they tried. You can see that RNG Don't Change was actually blocking for Einfach. He was making sure that the enemy did not get a shot on him, the 53 TP, and he was literally putting himself in as a human shield to let EinfachVerschnurrt get behind the enemy and shoot him in the ass to win the game. Epic play, epic play. Really like to see those sort of moves. So let's have a look at detail. He fired 25 rounds in that game, got 19 direct hits, 18 penetration. Shows this 105mm gun really is good. If it hits the target, it tends to do damage, especially if you don't use the premium ammo, because as you saw with Fluffy, he was restraining from actually using his premium ammo, and it was working. He was actually getting shots on target, and they were penning. 5,444 hit points of damage, of which 2,848 were at more than 300 meters. So about half the damage was done at long range. And you can saw that Einfach did pull back during the game to actually cover the other flank, and doing so actually gave him the opportunity with RNG to actually take out the remaining enemy as they were approaching the cap area. He did receive a hit, yeah, and it did pen. I can't remember which one it was now that actually did pen him, but he did get penned by one of the enemy on target. And he also spotted one enemy vehicle, damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 9, did 461 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 42,692 credits for the game, but he did use some premium ammo, and he did need to use the premium ammo because some of the tanks he were up against were higher tier than him and potentially very, very dangerous. Or at least I think they were higher tier. Pretty sure the 53 TP is a higher tier tank. And after resupply of all of those, I'm afraid he did make a loss for the game of 45,483, but I'm pretty sure he'd be very happy with that result and taking a Radleys to take that loss, and he'll easily make those credits back, no problem whatsoever. 1,617 XP, 364 for playing in the platoon, and 2,790 experience points altogether. So a fantastic result for EinfachVerschnurrt in that battle. I hope I did pronounce that correctly, but yes, it does mean still purring, or simply purring. And I hope you enjoyed those games. They're really good games by 2 different players. If you did, please give these videos a like. Do subscribe to our channel and leave a little message down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.